Hey, the Racer is back with another video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to help my channel grow. Your support is greatly appreciated. All right, family. The Fever win the Commissioner's Cup in a stunner against the Minnesota Lynx, 74-59. Let's talk about it. All right, family. No one honestly expected this outcome. You got Fever critics. They are shocked. I'm talking about the Fever. They shocked the world. This is a tremendous victory, right? Without a doubt. Although it won't affect their overall win total, it affects their confidence, which is most important, right? They enter the game as a double-digit underdog, missing Caitlin Clark, missing Damaris Dantas, down by 13 points, and yet the Fever pulled out a convincing victory. Now, how did he do it? How did the Fever get this impressive dub? It all hinged on their tenacious defense and Natasha Howard's remarkable performance, right? The Fever held the Lynx to just 59 points. Minnesota went on a 8-minute scoring drought at the end of the second quarter, and they couldn't recover. Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham brought the necessary toughness, right? While Commissioner Cup MVP Natasha Howard unleashed her full potential, went into demon mode, and effectively neutralized leading MVP candidate Napheesa Collier. Amazing, right? Now, it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic between Natasha and Caitlin when Caitlin gets back from a groin injury, because we all know Natasha Howard wasn't gelling with Caitlin, to say the least, right? And she came out on a podcast with Sue Bird, and basically she was like, pass me the damn ball. That's what she said. If you listen to what she was saying, she like, get me the damn ball. And I think Caitlin Clark needs to heed that message. You got to keep her engaged. She's the X factor. She is, right? We all thought DeWanna Bonner was going to be what Natasha Howard could be for this team, right? And that is an integral piece to winning a championship. And she can do that. She's a 3-time champion, right? And she knows what it takes to win a championship. She's won championships. She got a Defensive Player of the Year. She got some all-star appearances. And if I was Caitlin Clark, I would select her for the all-star team. And the reason why I would do it wouldn't necessarily be for or because of her performance, throughout the year, right? Because Natasha hasn't been consistent, right? But that would be a good faith gesture, on Caitlin's part, to say, hey, it's me, and we in it together, and I'm gonna ride, I'm gonna die with you, ride and die with me. You understand? So, Caitlin, if you can, your 12th pick for the All-Star team, get Natasha. All right. So let's dive into these numbers real quick. First up, we're going to talk about these team stats. Now, the Fever shot 42% from the field, which isn't great or amazing, but they did a great job on holding the Lynx to just 34%. So kudos for that. 3-point range, the Fever were 8 for 19 for 42%. That's excellent. Right? While the Lynx were 4 of 16 for just 25%. Not good. Now, let's talk about these free throws, which is my personal favorite to gauge fairness, right? as far as refereeing. I'm of the opinion, as long as the free throws are within 5 of each other, like if I get 12 and you get 17, I'm kind of good with that. But if I get 12 and you got 30, I got a problem with that. A serious problem. If I get 12 and you get 24, yeah, you double my free throws. Nah, 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 nah. Refs, you know what I mean? You're doing a little too much. You're doing a little too much or not enough. You're not giving me enough calls because I need to be, close to them because as physical as they play in the W, you can pretty much call fouls on every play for the most part, or at least 80% of them. So anyway, the Fever nailed all their free throws. They went 12 for 12. The Lynx went 11 for 14 for 78%. I can't complain about that. As far as the boards are concerned, the Fever dominated. They had 40 rebounds to the Lynx's 30. They racked up 20 assists as a team, while the Lynx only managed 13. The turnovers were a bit high for both teams. The Fever had 18. The Lynx had 16. And the Fever, they didn't have Caitlin Clark, and they still had 18 turnovers. So that's that. In transition, the Fever only scored 7 points. The Lynx had 8. And in terms of points in the paint, the Fever led with 32, and the Lynx had 30. So, points in the paint were pretty good. Overall, the Fever dominated after, the first quarter. 2 minutes into the second quarter, the game changed. And good job on their part. And in terms of player stats, Natasha Howard, she was 4 for 10 from the field, which isn't great, right? It's decent, for women's basketball. 8 for 8 from the free throw line, which is excellent. She had 12 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 6 turnovers. I had to make sure I put that in there, right? And she won a Commissioner Cup MVP, so great job. She's a difference maker, right? And if Natasha stays engaged and CC can stay healthy, the Fever are a legitimate threat to win the finals, right? Sophie Cunningham, she scored 13 points. She went 4 for 16 from the 4 for 6 from the field, made 3 3-pointers, right? Erin McDonald, 5 and 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3-point range. And Aaliyah Boston, she had a double-double, 12 points and 11 rebounds. Great job on her part. As far as the Minnesota Lynx, Lena Smith, 15 points. She nabbed, 5 rebounds. Good job. Nafisa Collier, she got shut down. She chipped in with 12 points and 9 rebounds, shooting 33% from the field. Natasha Howard put the clamps on her. She did have 5 turnovers. So that's good for the Fever. Courtney Williams had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and she also had 6 turnovers. So between Courtney Williams and Nafisa Collier, well, they had 5. That's 11 turnovers of the 16 that they had. Not good. Not good. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call this game a Picasso, but it was a Stephanie White win, right? It was an ugly, physical, low-scoring game. That's how Stephanie White likes it, right? And that's how they're going to have to play until CC gets back, because it's going to be hard for them to score 80 points without CC. For real, right? So defense is going to have to be their calling card in order for them to win until CC gets back, right? And if they can play above 500 ball while she's out, there's no reason to bring CC back, until, the All-Star break, maybe a game before or after the All-Star break, right? So, good win for the Fever. Good win. It was an ugly win, but a win nonetheless. A win nonetheless. Good job, Fever. I said what I said and I stand on it. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. to help my channel grow. Go Fever.